All right, so we've been waiting for 30 years. I guess I've been waiting for 30 years and finally got my old car out of my dad's garage, and soon it will be coming over to my garage and we will start to fix it up. Originally it was going to be a restoration, but I think now I'm just going to put it together solid and make it a runner. And by runner I mean like a daily driver with a little bit of oomph. But let's go walk over and take a look at how it looks now, because it's a little rough. But mind you, the last time I drove this was in 1992. I was home on leave in the military. I came back and went to go around the corner and got on it, and next thing you know, my whole rear end shifted. Well, it was a U-bolt on my rear end broke and snapped, and it shifted everything off to the side. And since then, it's never run. I've never drove it, I mean. And then I started just tearing it apart. But let's not wait any longer. Let's go look at it. So here, it's a 78 Trans Am. I bought it in 1987. Came home on leave. I was on Midway in Japan. I came home on leave and I was looking for a 68 Firebird, because 68 Firebird is something I've always wanted, and they didn't have one, so I was impulse bought, and I bought this 78 Trans Am. There's its last tag I had. But started tearing it apart, and my brother, God bless his soul, he passed a couple years ago, but he bought a 78 Trans Am right after I bought one. And so for the good part of 5-6 years, we just together, every time I came home, we were working on our cars and sharing notes, so to speak. But yeah, this is not the original 6.6. I've got that in the garage. This is a 350 that came out of a 1973 Pontiac Ventura. I had the machined, and the reason I put the 350 in it again is because I didn't want to wait. And if I pulled the engine out at that time, during that time, I would have had to wait, and the car would have been down. So I had a 350 coming out of a 73 Pontiac Ventura. So I said, you know what, let's build that block up a little bit, and I punched it 30 over. So it's a 355. I took my 400 out, but I still have plans to build that 400. It's got a crane cam, performer, intake. Right now it's got the Rochester back on it, but I've got a Holly double pumper. It seemed to work best with this Rochester, but it's got some headers on it. They're cheap, but they rusted. They're rusted. But there's a lot of work to be done now, because as you can see, I took out the fender wells. All this support was taken off. I just buttoned it up right now so we can push it around. This is a new door skin I put on. This is a new quarter panel I welded on. And again, I was young at the time, but this is Pour 15 Bondo, so I'm gonna have to sand that down. I kind of made a mess there, but the overall, the quarter panel is solid now because it's a new quarter panel. I've got another quarter panel right up here that I bought 30 years ago, perfect condition for this side, but I probably am not going to replace the whole quarter panel because all this is solid. I'll probably just kind of cut off down here, cut that piece off. I've already cut the cancer off on this side, so I'll look at it again, and maybe we'll see when I get to it. And then I got to get some inner drop downs from the trunk. The inside. The inside. These came off my brother's 78 Trans Am. He ended up getting rid of them, so he left me some parts. But I tore this whole interior out because I was going through and checking where I got solid metal, and all the rocker arms are solid. They appear solid. The floor pans down there by the feet, they've got holes in them, so I'm gonna have to patch that up. I already put a floor pan in on this side. I've got another floor pan in here, I believe, somewhere, but I'm gonna go through all this and find out what I have. Again, I've not been in this car for 30 years. In fact, here's a Van Halen tape, OA what was it, 0812, 0818 or something like, wait, hold on, OU812, OU812, that's the Van Halen. I had that in there. Let's see how many miles it says it has on it. 92,000. It says 92,000, and it probably true. Just because I bought it in '87, and I haven't driven it. I'm gonna have to get a new windshield because last time I used it, I tried to. You can see, where is it at? It's inside, but there's like a little saw thing, and I was trying to take this off myself, my windshield, and then it wouldn't come off, so my dumb butt took a screwdriver trying to pry it up, and again, I was young, whoop, cracked it all the way up and around, so that's gonna have to be redone. The hood is right here. Had to take the hood off because at the time I had and these are barely bolted on. They've got a little bolt here. I got this one just kind of hanging in, hold it in, one here, one there. And the fender wells are inside my dad's garage. But I put all new linkages and ball joints on it. But this is going to be replaced because at the time I just bought it and thought it looked cool, but it's really junk. Yeah, I'm gonna, and the wheels. So, so those wheels I bought in the 80s, and I thought they looked good. But now what I'm going to go with, I believe, is something like either the snowflakes or the honey, what do you call it? Go with the original snowflakes or the year one snowflakes. But I plan to come back out here and clean it down, pressure wash it, take the stuff out of the car, put it in buckets, and then pressure wash it, dry it up, just kind of get the dirt off. It's been sitting in my dad's garage, and I'll tell you what, surprisingly enough, it held up well for 30 years. Like, there's no new rust, there's no mice in it. Well, let me back up. And so far I have not seen any mice in there, but once I get into it, I might find something. We'll see. But let's see what's in the trunk. I haven't opened this trunk in 30 years either. So like I said, I was taking this thing apart with the intent of restoring it, but now I'm not so sure. Where are we at? Oh boy. See, there's some of my interior. This is the other spoiler. There's my, well, that's probably my brother's because, well, hold on. He's got two of them. I should just put that one back there. Put this one back there because I've got mine on. So my brother probably tossed me, and this is kind of sad. It's kind of sad. Is my brother and I, he's 5 years younger than me, and I buy this, he buy that, and we had Harleys together, we had ZX7s together, we had Trans Ams together, and when I was getting back to this, my intent was again, get it back up and running, and thinking he'd be over here helping me, but that's not gonna happen. And kind of going through some of this stuff, it's like gets a little emotional because you see his parts, you knew what he was helping me with, and to be quite honest with you, I forgot where some of this stuff goes. I'll figure it out, but I was kind of relying on him to, between the two of us, we'll figure out, oh yeah, this goes here, that ties in there, because he's tore his down a bazillion times. But yeah, so there she is right now in all her glory. This is brown or carmine or whatever. I forget what the actual color was called, carmine or brown or whatever, and it has saddle interior. I think, don't hold me to it, but I think what I'm going to do is paint it a matte black and then leave the interior original color, I think. I bounce it back and forth, and brown's different, but I don't know. We'll see it. Right now, I don't care about what the color is. I care about it being solid through. and functional. I'm pretty certain that this engine will start. It may look like a mess to you, well, because it is a mess. But this is the wire and harness that goes to all the lights. The distributor, so here's a funny story about the distributor, and I'm chalking it up again to my my youth. The car was running great. I went to the local parts store, auto store back in the 80s or 90s, early 90s, and I thought, you know what I need? I need to see something, find something to make it go faster. I ran across these distributor weights, the springs for the weights for the Advance, and I thought, oh, okay, lighter's faster, lighter's easier, it's faster. I put it in, and my dumb butt threw the originals away. And since then, it just runs like crap because it's advancing too fast. So my brother, he had a 78 Trans Am, and then he took his original 400 out and built a 454, punched it over. So nothing he was using was original. He spent a lot of money on it, TCI transmission. He gave me his distributor, and when I put his distributor back in it, it ran great. So yeah, I got a lot of unknowns. I got a lot of forgets. How as I'm stumbling through it, I'm sure I'm gonna figure it out. But I just wanted to welcome you to my first project on my YouTube channel, and I'll be posting more videos because I've got more cars and stuff. I just love working on cars. I love working on motorcycles. Okay, so here are a few pictures of us unburying it out of my dad's garage. A lot of stuff's been pulled off. And now we're going over and going to push it out. It was not running at the present moment. But we'll push it out, get it outside the garage, and then later I'll go through it and get the engine running. Not a whole lot more to see here, just we're finishing the pushing out, and then I'll eventually go through the car and try to figure out how to get it started. Intent is to drive it over to my house, which is right next door. Thanks for watching.
You think we should probably put air in the tires? I thought I aired them up like a couple months ago. Now, do you need a board?